ora. Hello, I'm Philip Duncan, and thank you for joining us for our Thursday weather update recorded on April the 4th. We're forecasting a large area of high pressure, Mr. Blobby, coming in to cover the country for the weekend. Then it departs at the start of next week. As it moves in over the next 24 hours, cooler southerlies come through, and then as we get to the start of next week and it moves away, warmer northerlies, in fact subtropical in some areas, also comes back in. Behind all of this big high pressure, we've got low pressure. So we're going to have an extended video today for 7 days going through till next Thursday, because we wanted to show you this next chance of rain, because there are a number of regions that do want more wet weather. Let's kick off with the animated wind map later today. You can see this line here. That is the cold front moving into the North Island, a very broken up patchy system. Behind it the southerlies, ahead of it the nor'westers. So mild for the North Island as we go through this evening, but that cooler southerly does start to come on through. You can see the big high coming here through Australia, and that will cross New Zealand over Saturday, Sunday, and then starts to depart Monday and Tuesday. So this is where the high is this evening. You can see it south of Australia extending out into the Tasman. That's the front. Very broken up, so you can see why it's not going to be a clean band of rain coming through. So if your rainfall totals are below 10 millimetres, it could be quite patchy and broken up. So use our hourly data to work out when it starts and ends, and then use the rain radar to fill in the gaps as you go along. So let's animate this. You can see that cold front on Friday just falls apart as it moves up to the top of the country. And by the time we're in Saturday evening, the high pressure system firmly in control over the country. Don't forget, on Saturday night, daylight saving comes to an end. Put your clock back an hour, you fall back an hour in fall, autumn. And the great news about Sunday is it's 25 hours long. No complaints there from most people, I don't think. So here is Friday. The high is out here in the Tasman, quite a strong one. Mr. Blobby, it's going to come in and cover the country for the whole weekend. Showers on Friday along the eastern side of New Zealand, caught up in that new southerly flow that's moving through, but the rainfall totals won't be all that great. As we get into Saturday, the high comes closer into the country. We've got a southeasterly for the top of New Zealand, so a few showers here. You can see that little front that'll push through. So there might just be a little burst of showers for a time. Not everyone will get it. Some could get a heavier downpour, and then it should start to clear up, because as we get to Sunday, Mr. Blobby the high, big blob of high pressure firmly over the top of the country. Might just be a couple of lingering showers around the outer edges. Otherwise, cooler nights, mild afternoons, classic perfect autumn weather. Now, as we get into the start of next week, a few things start to change. The high centres itself over the Chatham Islands. It's still pretty much over the North Island as well, but you might just see a couple of light isolated showers here and there, nothing too major. And then rain starts to develop later on in Fiordland, along with a strengthening wind. Now, this is a mild airflow, subtropical, coming down for parts of New Zealand, starting in the South Island. So it should be fairly mild as we kick off next week. Australia's got a big cool down. Overnight lows getting into the frost territory, maybe some snow for Tasmania. So that gives you an idea of what is actually forming down here. And this high, despite it sort of being big and dry for the weekend, might actually be helpful next week with this developing system. So on Tuesday, the high hasn't moved much. Pretty strong, 1032 hectopascals, covers a large area, goes all the way up to the tropics, stretches all the way up to the Tasman, and here's this new low. Cold pulse comes in over Tasmania, so cold on this side, subtropical on the other. The two wind directions and airflows start to spin that system. So windy weather around on Tuesday, stays windy on Wednesday, and look what starts to form out in the Tasman. Exactly what people want if you need rain, especially in central parts and northern parts of the country. This is a good placed low pressure system. What could go wrong between now and then? The high to the east, not going as far east and sort of pushing back against it, and the next high coming in faster. That could kind of put the squeeze on that system and smother it and stop it from forming. But for now, as we go through to Thursday of next week, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. It looks as though there's a big enough gap between these high pressure systems to allow that low to deepen. It's not very deep, but it's tapping into subtropical air. And so if it lines up like this, you'll get some rain in Northland, and you'll get some rain in Marlborough, Horowhenua, Wellington, Wairarapa, Taranaki, Nelson, the regions that kind of want some rain. So not 100% locked in, not this far out, but certainly a silver lining around the edges of that big high, Mr. Blobby, coming in for the weekend. That is all from me. Our Australia forecast is out today for the next 7 days. And also tomorrow we'll be doing our RainWatch update. We'll be taking a closer look at that system coming in for next week. We'll see you tomorrow.